What if one of the most glamorous engagements in Hollywood history was built on a secret that no one wanted to reveal? What if the dazzling diamond ring, the symbol of love and devotion, wasn't gifted at all, but rather paid for by the woman who wore it? And what if, behind the headlines and the flashing cameras, a mother, Kris Jenner, was quietly mourning the loss of her own sister while navigating the chaos of her family's empire? Tonight, we step into the story that intertwines heartbreak, scandal, and hidden truths. Kris Humphries made Kim pay for her ring. Kris Jenner mourns sister. The world first witnessed Kim Kardashian and Kris Humphries' whirlwind romance unfold like a fairy tale, a love story wrapped in luxury and fame. Cameras followed their every move, from their playful banter to the elaborate wedding preparations. But what the cameras didn't reveal, or perhaps deliberately avoided, was the murmur of suspicion surrounding that famous engagement ring. A ring so large it sparkled under every flashbulb, a ring that became as much a character in the story as the couple themselves. As the story goes, Kris Humphries had orchestrated an unforgettable proposal. Down on one knee, he presented Kim with what looked like the ultimate symbol of devotion. But in whispers behind the scenes, there was already talk. Who really paid for that ring? Could it be true that Kim Kardashian herself, the queen of branding, the mogul of modern fame, had footed the bill? This question cuts to the heart of the Kardashian phenomenon: perception versus reality. Publicly, it was a love story sealed with a diamond. Privately, it may have been a transaction dressed up as romance. Insiders close to the couple recall tense discussions, paperwork, and financial arrangements that contradicted the fairy tale image. For a family that built an empire on controlling the narrative, the truth about the ring was a detail that simply could not be allowed to surface, until now. And then, amidst the noise of a collapsing marriage and headlines of annulments, another quieter story was unfolding. Kris Jenner, the matriarch of the Kardashian-Jenner empire, was carrying a grief that rarely made the tabloids. Her sister had passed, leaving her in mourning even as the world demanded her to be strong, glamorous, and untouchable. Imagine, for a moment, trying to manage the implosion of Kim's highly publicized 72-day marriage, while also confronting the private agony of losing a sibling. The juxtaposition is staggering. On one side, the glitter of a multi-million-dollar wedding and the scandal of who paid for the ring. On the other, a woman in quiet sorrow, holding back tears for a sister gone too soon. For Kris Jenner, there was no script to follow, no camera-ready answer to grief. Her mourning was real, raw, and human, yet it unfolded against the surreal backdrop of reality television. As we return to that moment in time, let's picture it. Kim's engagement dominating every magazine cover, paparazzi lenses capturing the sparkle of the ring from every angle. Talk shows debated its size, its value, its symbolism. But not many dared to ask, was it actually a gift from Kris Humphries, or a self-funded accessory for Kim Kardashian's brand? Sources claim that production pressure, the need to amplify drama for the cameras, and the desire to craft the ultimate fairy tale pushed everyone involved toward a deal that blurred the line between love and business. The marriage that followed was brief, just 72 days, and when it unraveled, the ring once again became the centerpiece of speculation. Would Kim return it? Did Kris want it back? Was it ever really his to give in the first place? These questions festered as lawyers, managers, and family members scrambled to control the fallout. And all the while, Kris Jenner, the family's manager and protector, found herself in a painful balancing act, defending her daughter in public while grieving her sister in private. Her mourning was not for cameras. It was not curated for a storyline. It was the kind of grief that lingers in the quiet moments when the house grows still and the cameras are off. Friends recall Kris withdrawing at times, her fierce energy dimmed by loss. But even in sorrow, she pushed forward. She had to, because the empire her family had built was bigger than any one scandal, bigger even than her personal grief. Still, the shadow of her sister's absence shaped her in ways audiences never saw. The same woman who was criticized for orchestrating her daughter's life like a business deal was also a sister, a daughter, a human being confronting mortality. It is in these hidden contrasts that the real story lies. The scandal of Kim allegedly paying for her own ring may seem, on the surface, like just another tabloid twist. But beneath it lies something deeper, a portrait of a family that lives between two worlds. One world is curated, polished, made for television. The other is messy, human, filled with grief, loss, and uncomfortable truths. Kris Humphries' role in all this has been remembered in fragments. To some, he was the man who got caught in the Kardashian machine, chewed up and spit out. To others, he was complicit, fully aware of the spectacle he was stepping into. But the question of the ring, who bought it, who owned it, and what it symbolized, remains one of the most fascinating mysteries of their doomed union. Kim herself has rarely addressed the specifics. To admit that she had paid for her own ring would undermine the fairy tale, tarnish the illusion. For someone who built her brand on aspiration, admitting to staging one of the most pivotal symbols of romance would be devastating. And so, the truth sits in the shadows, half-whispered but never confirmed. Meanwhile, Kris Jenner's grief remains the quieter part of this story, often overlooked in the rush of scandal. Her sister's passing was not a plotline, not a ratings grab. It was a loss that cut deeper than any criticism or headline. It is here, in this contrast, that we find the true heart of this narrative. A woman managing the most public family in the world, while silently carrying the most private of pains. As the years passed, the headlines faded. The ring, the marriage, the feud between Kim and Kris Humphries, all of it became part of Kardashian lore, another chapter in their ever-evolving saga. But the questions linger. Did Kim really pay for her own ring? Was the romance ever as real as it seemed? And how did Kris Jenner balance the unbearable task of mourning her sister while keeping her family empire from collapsing? This is the duality of the Kardashian-Jenner legacy. Spectacle and sincerity, diamonds and grief, love and loss. To watch their story is to glimpse the collision of performance and reality, where even a ring can hold secrets, and even the strongest matriarch can quietly break. Because in the end, the story of Kris Humphries made Kim pay for her ring. Kris Jenner Mourns' sister is not just about scandal. It is about the fragile line between what the world sees and what a family truly endures behind closed doors.